What is going on, Locks Mob, and welcome back to the Locks DFS NHL Breakdown. I am your host, Narang, and I'll be breaking down this 4-game main slate for Monday, February 4th on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Prize Picks. But before I get into that, let me just tell you about how hockey went yesterday. So we had a really strong Super Bowl Sunday for hockey. The team did really well on FanDuel, and the cheat sheet smashed on DraftKings as well. We had a lot of pieces in that Carolina-Calgary game, which was 4-3. We had the Aho goal. We had the Drouin goal on the Montreal. We had a lot of exposure to Montreal. So really good night for us. And hopefully we can do that again tonight. I like this slate. For it being a 4-gamer, there's still a fair, there's not a lot of high price options to go towards, but it's still a fair amount of quality options to pay for, as well as good studs down there. So not a lot of 8K players. I don't think there's a single 8K plus player, but still a really nice slate. So we'll jump into it, just breaking down some of my favorite plays at each position, at each price point. Just to keep it short and sweet, we're going to go like that. So we'll start in the high range of center, sort of 7.1 and above. Really interested in Sagan at this price, but I think my favorite high price center is Austin Matthews. The news in Toronto is that they did have a slight line shakeup. They moved Mitch Marner off of Austin Matthews' wing, where he's been the past 2 games, and up to John Tavares, where he spent majority of the season. I just think it wasn't really working down here, so they just switched something up. But I don't mind this for Austin Matthews. I think Marleau and Kapanen are equally as talented, or not equally as talented as Marner. I think they're talented hockey players, and I think it'll put more emphasis on Austin Matthews to sort of drive this offensive line, shoot the puck maybe a little bit more, as opposed to being a setup man for Marner. I think he might take a little bit of that shot volume for himself. So I really like paying for Austin Matthews at 7.9K. Of course, if you do want to do a little 1-2 Toronto stack that correlates on the power play really well as well, then you can go with Tavares or Marner on that first line, because they do correlate on the first power play as well, and it's certainly like a really good play as well. Where I probably am going to go at center is these Philly guys, though. I'm really interested in both these Philly guys. I'm just becoming a Philly fan. I mean, they're on a win streak, like a 7-game win streak. They're balling. This first line has been playing really well. Claude Giroux, Travis Konechny, James Van Riemsdyk, and they're all fairly cheap. I mean, Claude Giroux for 6.6K is really cheap. Dude plays McDavid minutes. As you see, 24.5 minutes last game, 22, 21, 20, 20, 24, 21, 23. Those are similar to McDavid minutes. Those are similar to Nathan McKinnon minutes. And it's the same thing for Sean Couturier. He actually plays even a little bit more. He averages, 24, 22, 23, 23, because he operates a little more as a shutdown center. He plays a little bit more. But I think both those guys are great values. Even at Sean Couturier used to be 5.2K on DraftKings. They gave him a big price hike, but he's honestly still probably playable at this price. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these guys. And then the last guy I want to talk about is Ryan Getzlaf at 5K. Not much I really want to say on Anaheim. Anaheim projected to score 2.3 goals. They just haven't been great this year. But what they are now is finally healthy. That first line of Getzlaf, Raquel, and Corey Perry is back together. Apparently, just reading some beat writers from the Ducks talk about Corey Perry. Apparently, he looked rejuvenized, was skating really well. So if this first line is healthy, we do know they're talented. We do know that this is a extremely potent first line for Anaheim. So I think getting exposure to them while they're all really underpriced at 5K, Raquel's 5.2, Corey Perry, I don't even know how much he is, but I think getting exposure to some of these guys is actually a pretty sharp move. And with that actually being said, if we jump over to Prize Picks right now, we see Raquel has a projection of 3.6. I don't mind the over on that. I think that would be my free Prize Picks play of the day. He averages 3.5 fantasy points per game on the road, and that was without Getzlaf and without Corey Perry on his wing for majority of the season. So now that they're back, I think you're basically asking me if I think that Anaheim one line can combine for a point. If Raquel can get an assist or a goal, because I'm confident in the fact that he's going to have 3 or 4 shots on goal minimum, so that he can start with a 1.5 to 2 point floor. So definitely check this out. and hit the over here. If you haven't deposited on Prize Picks, use code LOCKS. Do not forget to use code LOCKS. It'll give you a free 2-pick entry up to $50 and a 100% bonus match up to $1,000. So if you deposit $1,000, they'll give you $1,000 back in promo money. That all you got to do is roll it over once, and it becomes like credit. It becomes real money. So go ahead and look into that and take advantage of all that free stuff over there. Moving on to winger. The high price range for me, obviously I talked about Mitch Marner, so I'm not going to mention him again. He's a great play. I really like Alexander Radulov, though. Dallas did switch up their lines, not recently, just a couple, like 3 years ago or something, and they moved Jamie Benn on this top line with Radek Faksa and Blake Como. I think Jamie Benn is just getting old. He's getting slow. He can't. I mean, it would be best if he was on this what is going to be the first line with Seguin and Radulov, but he's not. He still correlates with him on first team power play, but I really like this second line of Seguin and Radulov. I think that they're going to be asked to do a lot offensively for this team. I think they're going to skate a bunch of minutes, and they have a great matchup versus an Arizona team that's in the bottom 10 in the league in expected goals against per 60 on the road. Dallas has been playing better hockey as of late. I think you can pair Seguin and Radulov together, or I think you can one-off either one of them. Excuse me, it's like cold in my basement, so but yeah, so I think Radulov 6.7K, stellar play here, and stellar play on FanDuel as well, where he's priced to only 6.4K. I think he's an even better play over here. So take advantage of that on both sites. And then scrolling down a little bit, I wanted to mention JVR. I think I scrolled past him. Yeah, James Van Riemsdyk, 5.7K. Another one of my favorite plays of the day. Vancouver, as we talked about, bottom 10 in the league. Expected goals against per 60 on the road. Philly projected for 3.4 goals today. Their power play has been rolling. I believe they've scored on 6 of their 7 last power play attempts. And this Vancouver penalty kill is not that good. So I think taking advantage of this Philly power play as well is really good. And that is JVR. JVR is he skates on that first line with Giroux, Konechny, as well as correlating on that first team power play with Giroux, Gostisbehere, Voracek, etc. So I really like JVR here as an awesome play at wing. A value play if you guys are looking for one. I think there's a couple. I think you go with Patrick Marleau on Austin Matthews' wing. The guy gets power play 2-time as well as skating on the wing of arguably one of the more dynamic players in the NHL right now. So, and he skates like 18 minutes a night. Has been scoring recently. So despite the fact that he's getting up there in age, still kind of leads them, doesn't lead them in ICF per 60. That's Austin Matthews, but he's in the top 5 on the team. So still a guy that's shooting the puck a lot. So interested in him. And then the last guy I'm going to even briefly mention is Nikolai Goldobin, 3.9K at Philly. The main thing here is that Sven Baertschi is out for Vancouver, and the Philly penalty kill is definitely still not good. They have great 5v5 defense, but their penalty kill is bad. Goldobin skating on the most talented line, Pedersen and Besser, whatever you want to call it, the first or second line. It's the top line. But more importantly, he correlates on the first team power play. So you can get really, really cheap exposure to them at 3.9K. Not the best play, but I definitely do not mind him here. And then defense, just to talk about, Sean Gostisbehere returned last game and played back to 21.3 minutes. If he's getting this kind of minutes, because the real knock on Gostisbehere has been the fact that he's only skated like 18, 16, 13 minutes. But if he's going to get 21 and a half minutes, I'm all about Shane Gostisbehere, especially with how much this guy shoots the puck. One of the premier offensive-minded defensemen for the past 3 years in DFS. So getting him at 5.4K, I think, is a great steal. And then if we scroll down a little bit, a guy I really wanted to talk about was Cam Fowler at 4.2K. As always, we've talked about defensemen versus Toronto and defensemen versus Minnesota having an increased shot floor. But I am interested in this Anaheim power play 1, getting some exposure to them. I think getting them through Cam Fowler is the best move. I mean, he's just way too underpriced at 4.2K, despite the fact that this guy is really not shooting the puck this year. And if that does concern you, I recommend going up to Brandon Montour, who's on the second team power play. He doesn't correlate on the first power play with Raquel and Getzlaf in them, but he shoots the puck like crazy, and he still benefits from the whole defense versus Toronto narrative or trend or whatever you want to call it. And lastly, goalie. Again, look at goalie, see who you have, and correlate it with the rest of your team, so that if your team does well, your goalie hopefully gets the win as well. So for me, I think I like Carter Hart at this price of 7.8K. The dude's been amazing in net for these guys. I mean, he gave up quite a few goals. He gave up 4 goals, but he had 40 saves. And I was watching that game, and they should have got scored on like 8 times. He played outstanding. So I'm really interested in getting Carter Hart here. I think that's a good price for him. But like I said, just close your eyes and pray, and you'll be all right. But yeah, so with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for finding your way back. As always, if you haven't already, please do like this video. It really does a lot as far as getting traffic on it. But please do like, comment, and subscribe. As always, if you do that, you will be entered into winning a free season pass of your choice. Totally up to you. NHL, NBA, sports bets, soccer, anything you want. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and then stay tuned to Taylor's either Sunday or Monday NBA video, and he will update you with the winner. So that being said, guys, thank you so much. I hope you win a ton of money tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.